So let's figure out how to create and share a really simple digital portfolio using Google Drive. In the next few minutes, I will show you how to do a few things. First, I'll show you how to create a folder and subfolder within Google Drive. Second, I'll show you how to move your existing materials into those folders really quickly and easily. And then third, I'll show you how to share that folder, which contains all your work, with someone else. Okay, so we'll do those three things. We'll create the folders, we'll put stuff into the folders, and I'll show you how to share those folders or that folder with someone else. Now, keep in mind that this assumes that you can access Google Drive, that you know how to get to Google Drive, that you've been using your Google Drive, that you have materials complete and that are already in there. Okay, if those things don't apply to you, you'll want to keep working or figure out where you're getting stuck and consult something else before you come back to this. So, assuming you've been in your Google Drive and you've got materials there, what I'm going to do is show you how to create folders that you can share. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm in Google here. You can tell I'm logged in. I'm going to click my little waffle here and select Drive. And you might be creating your portfolio for a particular course. I am doing this just to show you how to do it. So I will be pulling materials from other courses that I've taken. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a new folder. You can see I've already got a bunch of folders here. So I'm going to click New and just click Folder. It's the very first option. It's a folder with a plus sign. And I'll call this Digital Portfolio, maybe with my name and maybe the course that I'm completing it for. And I'll say Create, which I'm sure you know how to do. And then, so this is what I'll call my parent folder. When you have sort of a hierarchy of folders and things, we call them parent folders or pages and child pages. So this is my parent document or my parent folder. So I know that I've got materials other places that I want to pull in here. So now it's just a matter of grabbing those and pulling those in. And what I'll be doing is pulling them from this folder here that's labeled ODU, and then coursework, and then we've got all these different courses. And so I'm going to try to pull materials from all these different categories. And obviously that would be a big pain to try to sort of copy, maybe do this kind of thing, make a copy, pull the copy in. I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do instead is go back to my drive, sort of my home base here. Again, I've got my digital portfolio here. I'm going to click over here where it says My Drive underneath the New button. There's this little drop down arrow. This gives you the same access to the same materials that you have over here. It's just that you can sort of see how they've been indexed a little more easily over here. So again, I know this is my digital portfolio, but I want to pull from materials over here. So I'm going to click here just to sort of expand those folders, expand, and there we go. So let's see, within this particular folder, I'll click here and let's say I want to pull this over. Okay, all I have to do is grab it, stick it in there. Okay, and it's been moved. So if you don't want to move it permanently, and I'm going to undo that with my Command Z or Control Z, you can make a copy of it. Call it something more appropriate. And then pull it over here. Okay, let's see, I also know that I'll have things from this particular class that I'll want to pull over. Let's see, if I were to pull anything over, it would actually probably be well, it doesn't really matter, so we'll just do this. Make a copy. just gonna make sure I can see my digital portfolio folder and pull it over there. So that's what I would keep doing. I would keep sort of populating this overarching folder. And I'll do a couple more just so you can see what I'm doing here. My internet's super slow, so it takes a long time to create copies. And then I'm just gonna make sure I'm sticking it over in my digital portfolio. And I'll just put a couple more in so that I can demonstrate how you can create folders within that. And then I'll pop it over here. Okay, so here I am in my folder called Digital Portfolio. And what I might want to do here, let's say these are the 4 major assignments that I completed for this particular semester. And obviously I don't only have my product, I've also got all my process work, right? So what I would probably like my reader or viewer to see when they open up this folder is not just this, right? They probably want to see everything that went into making my Caribbean Studies paper, classical rhetoric paper, and so on. And then there also should be some sort of overarching cover letter that reflects on the process of creating these particular pieces. And so what I would do then is I would create a few more folders. I would probably create a new subfolder for each of these major assignments. And so I might do Caribbean Studies, spelled correctly, or in a more standard way. I'm just going to keep adding these. And then once I've added all 4 of them, I'll go ahead and populate them with the materials that I've put in our parent folder. And the last one. Okay, so now, just like we did before, I'm just going to drag it on in there. Classical rhetoric, and then digital activism, and discourse analysis. And of course my computer is getting a little grouchy, so we'll just let it get grouchy, and I will create something that maybe says read me first. Portfolio cover letter. So this is where you can compose the cover letter that you'll write that'll introduce your reader to your portfolio. Okay, so it would go on like that. So I would complete that, and then you're able to sort of toggle here in terms of how it's going to look, knowing that folders and files look differently. this will make it so that your folders are sort of distinct from your single file that'll be hanging out here that says read me first. Okay, so that's it. We've got our portfolio that we can keep adding to. If you've got your materials elsewhere in your Google Drive, you can locate those and then just drag them into the appropriate folder over here. These are the child folders in your parent folder, which is your digital portfolio. And so what we've done so far is we've created a folder and we've created subfolders. We've moved existing materials into those folders. And so the last step is to share this, right? And you can share this whenever you want because you can keep adding to it, and the hyperlink that you send someone will not need to change. So one of the biggest hangups, I think, is that when people try to share like a Google Drive or a Google folder or a Google document, anything like that, what they'll do is they'll just like highlight this and copy and paste it. And unfortunately, that is not something that anybody else can use to access this other than you right now. So I will show you what to do. So you'll want to head back to your drive, okay? Remember what this is called, digital portfolio, but just go back to your drive, either by clicking over here or over here. And now I'm going to toggle back to the view that I'm more familiar with. I'm just going to click once on my digital portfolio, okay, on the title of it. This is my folder. This is the parent folder that contains those subfolders. What I'm going to do now is go over here to the share icon, and you can see that it says share, digital portfolio, JKENG 1510. I'm sorry that my computer got wonky here and this discourse analysis thing is hanging out here. So Google recently updated the way we share materials. So they sort of default prompt you to do this, try to add people in groups. But what we want to do, just to ensure that not only the person you're sending it to can see this, but if other people need to review the materials you're sending, they can then send it on to others. We actually want to click down here where it says get link. And notice the default is restricted. It says only people added can open with this link, which means you not only have to send a link, but you have to add people to get that link. That's just too many steps and it's too complicated. So what you want to do is just click anywhere in that box, and that's all I did was just clicked anywhere in that white space. Then where it says restricted, click that drop down caret and go to anyone with the link. Okay, now anyone on the internet with this link can view, right? Which means that you want to be careful who you send it to. But if you send it to your professor, that's totally appropriate. Your professor will not send it on to anyone who isn't authorized to see it. This is the point also where if you did want to send it to someone and allow them to edit your work, you could do that. You don't need to do that though. This is just someone who's going to view your work. So the link is there. This is the hyperlink. This is very different from what was up there, and it's different from what's up there now. You can click copy link. It says link is copied. So now at this point, you can go into your email or go into Blackboard and just paste in or Command V or Control V that particular link, and that will send your reader directly to this portfolio. All right, I hope that was useful, and best of luck.